What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including Bryan Danielson retirement update, new Bloodline members imminent, was Becky Lynch supposed to drop the NXT Women's Championship, is WWE interested in Lance Anoa'i, a Shane McMahon injury update, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new website, Wrestlelamia.com. And now let's hit the intro and get straight into our first story. Now, first story looks at Bryan Danielson retirement update. At top of today's news is a report concerning Bryan Danielson's future in wrestling. 2023 has been a bad year for the American Dragon as he suffered several injuries, the most recent being a broken orbital bone. Now there are questions about just how much longer fans will see the current AEW star in action. Meltzer discussed his AEW contract, which Meltzer believes ends sometime in 2024. Hopefully he can finish the next however many months he has. He didn't put up a timeline exactly on next year when he's going to be done. You know, in theory, his contract would be over in September. Obviously, Tony could extend it, but Tony Khan isn't going to be a dirty guy if Bryan wants it to be over. You know, he's going to be finished at the end of his contract, and he wants to be finished. There's nothing that you can do if the guy wants to quit. And in light of Danielson's recent rash of injuries, he may want to consider hanging up his boots and going in a different role in AEW, such as a manager, coach, or even backstage producer. But you guys think it's time for Danielson to retire? Is he injury prone, a victim of the style he works, or is he just experiencing bad luck? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, new Bloodline members imminent. Could the Bloodline get some, dare we say, fresh blood? The potential is there as Major League Wrestling recently granted releases for Lance Anoa'i and Juicy Finau, two members of the trio known as the Samoan SWAT team, the other being Jacob Fatu. WrestleTalk notes, while there's no word just on yet where Anoa'i and Finau intend their next destination to be, there's obvious speculation about a potential move to WWE to add yet another dimension to the Bloodline saga. Technically, it's unknown if both are free agents right now or whether they'll have non-compete clauses to adhere to. They also pointed out that Lance Anoa'i is a son of Samu of Head Shrinkers fame, while Finau is not related to the legendary Anoa'i family. There's been speculation about Roman Reigns adding more members to the Bloodline following the exit of Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso's shaky status with the group. The conversation about new members has some fans thinking their arrival will play a role in the upcoming LA Knight vs Roman Reigns Undisputed Championship match at Crown Jewel. This scenario could see the latest edition costing Knight his chance at the title, much as what happened when Solo Sikoa debuted at last year's Clash at the Castle to cost Drew McIntyre his match against Roman Reigns. What do you guys think? Are these the new Bloodline members? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, was Becky Lynch supposed to drop the NXT Women's Championship? Bryan Danielson isn't the only wrestler dealing with injuries of late. Becky Lynch has had her fair share of bumps and bruises, a situation which has led to speculation whether the WWE was forced to end her NXT Women's Championship reign due to an injury. However, Ringside News is reporting that the news site reached out to WWE about WWE's plans for Lynch, and the title was told Lynch was always supposed to lose her title to Lyra Valkyrie. Lynch brought some new viewers to NXT thanks to her 42-day title reign, just one example of how the WWE has been using main roster stars to amp up NXT's ratings. She also defended the title on Raw, giving NXT performers time on the main roster to give fans a better idea of what they can do. It'll be interesting to see whether Lynch's time in NXT creates any long-term interest in the black and gold brand. But what do you guys think of Becky's reign as NXT Women's Champion? Was it a wise move by WWE? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, is WWE interested in Lance Anoa'i? While Lance Anoa'i is a free agent, there's no guarantee he'll be signed with the WWE. According to Sean Rossap, the WWE has had opportunities to sign him before, only to pass. WWE has had the opportunity to sign Lance Anoa'i a number of times. I'm not sure necessarily if there's a ton of interest there. I'm not sure, but I can say that WWE has had the opportunity to sign him a bunch of times. He had a tryout. He worked for Noah throughout this year. He worked for WWE 3 times over the last 5 years. Sapp commented on Anoa'i previously appearing in WWE. I know he worked with SmackDown with Rhett Titus, he worked NXT against the Authors of Pain, then he worked Shane McMahon and Roman Reigns was involved in that segment as well. He's no stranger to WWE, he's been on their radar for a decade. The WWE may feel that Anoa'i has improved in the ring since his previous appearances and want to sign him, but for now fans will have to wait and see whether the Bloodline will grow. Next up, WWE's opinion on Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. Grayson Waller and Austin Theory have been on SmackDown quite a bit of late, with the two loudmouths teaming up to make life difficult for the Blue Brand's babyfaces. That being said, what role does the WWE have in mind for both men? Sean Ross Sapp discussed this during a recent Q&A at Fightful Select, saying they've always saw Theory and Waller as high upside. I mean, Waller is very easy for them to do business with as well, listens really well and gets them a lot of buzz when necessary. With Austin Theory, I feel like they kind of saw him in that Baron Corbin role where if somebody's coming back to do something, he can take the heat from that person and it won't affect their booking. Hopefully Theory doesn't fall into the Baron Corbin category of wrestler who is dependable for putting others over but doesn't advance anywhere on his own. Although the WWE has done a good job establishing Theory as a credible opponent, too much jobbing could diminish his value, just as what happened with Corbin. Next up, NXT Tag Team make a long way to debut. Now it looks like the Creed brothers are finally being called up to the main roster. The former NXT Tag Team Champions and winners of the 2022 Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic are scheduled to wrestle Alpha Academy on tonight's Raw, and Meltzer is reporting, "I was told Sunday night that right now, barring any changes, not like it's 100%, but right now they're being called up." Brutus and Julius Creed are one of many talented teams on NXT that should add to the main roster. However, will they be given time to show their skills when the main roster is already flooded with superstars? Next up, a big rumor is AEW creative chaos. Are the days of wine and roses over for AEW's creative team? A rumor has it that AEW, which once prided itself on long-term storytelling, is apparently dealing with problems keeping wrestlers involved in storylines. Meltzer provided the details during a recent Wrestling Observer Radio. If you follow AEW, you know that a lot of stuff is being decided at much later periods than previous. Guys are getting their information on what they're doing later and decisions are being made later. There's times the day of the show sometimes you don't even know what the plans are. The WWE was notorious during the Vince McMahon era creative for making last minute changes and keeping wrestlers in the dark about creative plans for them. Meltzer noted comparisons between the dark days of WWE creative and AEW's current creative crisis. It's almost at times like we used to talk about WWE, which is also very frustrating for talent. A lot of guys have a lot of input on what they're doing, but they don't really know a long-term direction. If Meltzer's story is accurate, AEW's talent is dealing with the similar problems to when Vinnie Mac ran creative. If you watch AEW, have you noticed any changes with AEW storytelling? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, Shane McMahon injury update. How is Shane McMahon doing his recovery from the freak quad injury he suffered at Night 2 of Wrestlemania 39? You may recall Shane O'Mac was working an impromptu match against The Miz when he injured his quad after leapfrogging over The Miz. Shane's son Declan, who is currently in college on the college football team, spoke with Developmentally Speaking and provided an update on his dad's progress. His rehab's going very well. He's gotten back to like jogging, squatting, he's starting to work out again. It's kind of difficult for him to bend side to side, but his rehab is really well. He's making phenomenal progress. So the doctor said all the time he's healing quicker than they thought, and you know, when he tore it, he completely tore his quad tendon. He added that it wouldn't surprise him to see his dad return to the ring because my dad loves wrestling second to none. I mean, he truly cares for the business. But not only for the business, you know, he truly wants to put on a show for the fans because the fans show him so much love, and it's rewarding for a lot of these guys to give those fans who came to see him. Would you guys like to see Shane return to the ring? Let us know in the comments down below. And finally, a WWE superstar removes her tattoo. And last but not least, Bianca Belair is sharing her experience with having to get a tattoo removed. The EST recently shared a picture of herself getting a tattoo removed along with this warning. Just a reminder, think before you get tattoos, it's not worth it. I felt like my skin was melting. I hate this tattoo, hopefully it goes away forever, but it's color so it's not 100% guaranteed. It's unknown whether Cody Rhodes has seen Belair's advice, but given the fans' reaction to his neck tattoo, he may have regrets too. But there you have it folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.